It's the opening game of Group 2, which involves St. Pat's, Bohemians, Sligo Rovers, Shamrock Rovers, and of course Derry City. It is Sligo Rovers against Derry City this evening. Derry represented by Darren Cole, formerly of Rangers, and of course Sligo represented by Ronan Coughlan, formerly of Huddersfield and Cork City, now of Sligo. Sligo in the blue this evening, up against Derry in the red and white. Eric Finn with me as always. Eric, of course, a professional FIFA player. Eric, what are you hoping for this evening?
Well, out of the first games in Group 1, I think there was a lot of nerves and a lot of giving the ball away. So this time around, I'm just going to see if anybody can try and hold on to the ball and maybe show a bit of composure.
Well, the first game, as we say, for both. And here comes Darren Cole on the attack. Mallon is on the ball for Darren Cole. Mallon still going, trying to get away from Banks. Does get a bit of space, and that's a poor ball inside. And Murray intercepted it. Now he and Collier are playing away with it. Can Sligo Rovers go on the break? Remember, the jostling for position in Group 2 beginning this evening. This the first game of the group. As always, you can donate via idonate/Extratime.ie esports cup. And it's a really great cause that we're doing all of this for, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And it's a tough time for them. It's a tough time for everyone, but any spare cash that you can give, please do. Now Sligo probing and looking for an opening. It looks to me like Ronan Coughlan is comfortable on the ball, comfortable in possession. Here he comes slaloming forward. It's Cawley who pulls it back. Chance still there, goal! And Sligo Rovers score. It's the first goal of Group 2. It's really well taken by Ronan Coughlan, controlling his teammate and sending it home. De Vries gets the goal.
Yeah, I must say there was a bit of a bad clearance from Derry City and Darren Cole there. Very poor, kept it in the box and made it very easy for Ronan Coughlan to strike it home.
What a finish by Ronan Coughlan, but really De Vries.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what way we're supposed to phrase it in FIFA terminology. Actually, Eric, you've been to a lot of FIFA tournaments. You've played in a lot of FIFA tournaments. Am I supposed to credit the actual player who's playing, as in Ronan Coughlan, with that goal, or do I credit the player who got it on screen? I'm not sure.
You see, even in FIFA esports tournaments, they usually do credit the virtual player that had scored the goal. But myself, I think it does require a lot of skill for that player to actually get the goal by the player with the controller in their hand. But yeah, you're probably right in saying credit the virtual player on the football pitch.
Well, the guys who are playing on behalf of their teams and, of course, doing it all of their own time, all of their free will for Cystic Fibrosis Ireland, they'll say they're the puppet masters of their team in the real world and the virtual world. And Ronan Coughlan, well, he'll claim the goal even though it wasn't him who scored it on screen. Now here's Figuera coming through, but he's dispossessed, and Sligo get it up the park. Sligo Rovers fans, tough time for them, tough time for all SSE Electricity League supporters, because, well, there's no football at the moment. We're trying to fill the void. We're trying to come together as a community and do something to keep us together, something to keep us talking. It's just a bit of crack. Eric, though, people really do get into this FIFA stuff, don't they?
Yeah, and I think we actually have a very competitive game in our hands. Both players are trying to hold on to the ball, and they're not really risking it a lot at all, just from what I've seen, especially with the kind of passing around the back for the last 5 to 6 minutes now. That's fairly tough going, discipline-wise, for Ronan to be doing such a thing so early in the game. But I'm actually very interested to see how this pans out.
If his skills match his hairstyle, then he's quite the player. Ronan Coughlan, we saw it there in the close-up after the goal. His hair looks as good in FIFA as it does in the real world. Derry try and win a corner if they possibly can, and they can't. The Sligo Rover supporters, well, they've had some good years, they've had some bad years. It's yet to be decided what kind of year this will be. Very unlucky not to get to the Extra.ie FAI Cup final last year, beaten at home in the semi-final by Dundalk. Ball breaks for Derry. Mallon nods it on. Trying to play it up the line. Gets around Murray. Good play by Mallon. Still on it. Slips it into the path of McDonough. McDonough back to Mallon. Mallon goes backwards when perhaps, Eric, he could have gone forward.
Yeah, you see, this game, it's all about patience at the moment. And that's usually, this is kind of, it seems a very similar game that I'd nearly have in the terms of the styles being played at the moment.
McCormack, formerly of Cork City, gets it slipped back to him. Can he get a shot away? The Louth man, no, he's crowded out. And Sligo come away with it. It's a comfortable performance so far by Ronan Coughlan, or as I say, Colin when he was with Cork City.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited to see how this pans out, because I couldn't tell you if it's going to go one way or the other. Sligo did get the one goal, but it seems that Darren Cole and Derry are kind of pushing them forward, other than right now, obviously.
Cooper coming forward, can't get his cross in, but Derry give away the corner to the Sligo fans. Again, I know they're virtual fans, but it's kind of representative of what they do at matches. They're fantastic supporters. Only one goal in it so far. Can Murray find a way through? No, he can't. McCormack running onto it. McCormack, who had such a successful spell with Cork City, of course, back at Derry City now. Ball goes forwards. Can Darren Cole get in behind here? Can he get a shot away? McDonough gets the equaliser. Well, I think it's fair to say that from general play, Sligo Rovers have been better. Ronan Coughlan's been better, but when the chance came, it was taken well by Darren Cole.
Yeah, it was a very impressive over-the-top ball, well sprung, and it kind of caught Ronan Coughlan off guard with Sligo there. But as I said, I think it's a very competitive match, and I'm not really surprised by that goal itself. And it's definitely not going to be the last of this game.
No, it's a really entertaining game, isn't it? High quality.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I consider this more of a chess match than a game of FIFA at this rate.
How do you explain that? I know I'm not trying to be smart by asking you that, but we'll actually come back to that point in just a second. No, we won't, because an attempted through ball is blocked by the Derry defence, and they'll go on the counter attack. You say it's like a game of chess. Sometimes that's an insult, sometimes it's a compliment. I think you mean it as a compliment. Maybe you might add a bit of meat to the bones.
Yeah, so it's just the higher the skill gap kind of runs in this game, the more your decision making is extremely critical. So at the time being in this game, it seems like the smallest of errors will cost a goal, because the others attacking is fairly good. So it'll be very surprising now if somebody does make a mistake and a goal isn't created or nearly created out of it.
Can Sligo go ahead before half-time? The shot is blocked. It rebounds around and Derry scramble away with it. Is that the half-time whistle, or is that a free kick?
Is,
no,
yeah.
It's a half-time whistle, and it's 1-1 at the break, and it's been a really entertaining game here in Town Park, which doesn't exist in the real world. It's a kind of a mismatch of small stadiums, but as I've been saying in the last couple of days, it actually isn't unrealistic for League of Ireland stadiums to look like this, and that would be really, really cool. Some of them already do. There's kind of an element of Dundalk's shed with the way the scoreboard is on the top of the galvanized roof there, although there are seats there as opposed to standing room, and actually the ends of the grounds looked a bit like the end of the Ben Bulbin end of Sligo Rovers ground, as we'll call it. I know there is a proper name for that end, but actually I forget. I think it's the railway end. I was corrected on that during live commentary for Extratime.ie during the FAI Cup semi-final. When real football begins, we hope to bring you commentary again. It proved very popular last season, and it's not something that national media outlets are doing as a habit. Like, there is no one place you can go for League of Ireland radio commentary. Some local stations are doing it, and we applaud them, the likes of LMFM and WLR, and Derry has 2 or 3 broadcasters doing it, including Drive 105 and BBC Radio Foil, but it's not the case for everyone, so it would be great if we could do radio commentary. Anyway, party political broadcast over. Player to watch, McDonough for Derry. So the screen is telling me, would you agree with that, Eric Finn?
Yeah, usually they base that off player ratings. Player ratings are usually based off then stats of a game, as they will be in a real football match. Kind of like interceptions, passes completed, dribbles completed. So obviously he's created a bit of danger for his opponent in this game, and maybe I'll keep an eye out for it anyway for the rest of this game for sure.
Obviously, Eric and I in separate rooms, in separate houses, in separate parts of Dublin, recording this, social distancing and all that. We're happy to adhere to the guidelines. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, keep your donations coming into Cystic Fibrosis Ireland. You can donate via idonate/Extratime.ie esports cup. You're not missing anything, as you can see on the screen as Sligo come forward in the blue jerseys, and it's a good performance from them so far. They try and bring it down the wing. Ball goes in behind. Derry get it clear and go on the counter attack. It's a good ball. Conor Clifford getting involved. Had a successful career in England and now enjoying himself in the League of Ireland. A player of real talent. Derry trying to work something. Here's Harkin. Harkin's attempted through ball is blocked, and Sligo come away with it. Not such a free-flowing second half as it was in the first, Eric.
Yeah, I think both are becoming a slight bit more frantic. Neither of these players want to draw, I assume, just from their more direct style play in the second half. But I think there still will be a goal to decide this yet. But who for is a question I can't answer, to be honest.
Two good teams to watch in the real world, two good teams to watch in the virtual world. Is that the right term, the virtual world?
Well, you could say the esports world.
Ah, yeah, okay, that's fair enough.
It is virtual, you're not wrong. So.
You see, to me, the virtual world is the movie Lawnmower Man, and I appreciate many people who are playing FIFA will not have a clue what I'm talking about.
I don't, anyway, for sure.
Showing my age, really. A Pierce Brosnan movie in which the virtual world and the real world collide. A really bad movie that was dated nearly as soon as it was released. Can Sligo release a shot here? Yes, they can, but it's off target. Cherry, I thought maybe got something on that, but computer says no, and it is a goal kick.
It was a nice strike back in the box there as well from Darren Ronan Coughlan. Sorry, apologies for that. But yeah, so 20 minutes left to go in this game. And what do you think yourself? Who do you think has a better chance?
I'm thinking Sligo. I think Ronan's got a better striker's instinct. And here comes Derry through Horgan. Horgan runs into a bit of a wall, gets back up, tries to go again. Ball goes loose. Free kick for Derry City. Connor Clifford, who can deliver from dead ball situations. Clifford goes short, gets it back. Not sure what they're trying to do here. Of course, if it works, I'll have egg all over my face. The shot comes! It hasn't worked, but it wasn't far away.
I'm very impressed actually with the whole run of play there. It was definitely something from the playground or training ground, I should even say. But yeah, I would have been very surprised if that didn't go in, and surprised I have been left.
This is a surreal situation. We're each sitting in our respective houses commentating on FIFA soccer, trying to desperately fill the void of live football. But if you're watching, then you're trying to fill that void as well. Keep an eye on Extratime.ie. Lots of good stuff popping up on there, despite the fact that there is no actual play to commentate on at the moment. Sligo run it out. Derry have the throw in. Who do you think would be more satisfied with the draw if it was to end that way, Eric?
I think it's been a little bit more frustrating for Darren Cole so far, to be honest, because Ronan Coughlan has, if you see the stats at the end of the game, I would imagine probably about 55 to 60% possession, which would be considered a slight bit more than usual in a game of FIFA. So, and it can be frustrating to only.
Clifford tries to slip it through the shots. Is it off target? I think it was McDonough who got the final shot away. Was it offside? Was it a free kick? Yep. Either way, the chance was missed, and it was a good one. Keeper could be in a spot of bother here. McGinty does well. Goalkeeping that Pep Guardiola would be delighted with. Ball at feet. Remember, keepers were just about saving the ball. Now they're about passing the ball. Derry trying to get in behind here. It's Nielsen. Shot smothered. Donlan got back. And that should be a corner kick, and it is. And it'll be taken by Harkin. Darren Cole steal this one. Maybe that's a bit harsh using the term steal it. If you score more than the opposition, regardless of how the game went, you deserve your win. Can't do much with the corner. Derry try and get it back into the box. They do. Cole dragging it back into space. Goes forward to McDonough. McDonough shows a heavy touch. Well, Darren Cole shows a heavy touch. And I'm sure McDonough will say to Darren Cole, if he meets him, if he's watching this game, you didn't do me justice there. Now coming forward is Harkin. Well, his pass is intercepted by Buckley. Buckley again, Donlan. Out wide, Sligo go. The first game of Group 2 looks like it's going to end in a draw unless we get something dramatic here. Cooper finds the man inside who is completely unmarked. This is good work by Sligo Rovers. It's Ronan Coughlan controlling Ronan Coughlan. Very unselfish. DeFries, who scored in the first half, gets it back. DeFries out wide, Banks, the overlapping runner, gets the cross in, but it's not a particularly good one. Ronan, that's disappointing, isn't it? Or Eric, that's disappointing. Actually, they do manage to keep it alive. Here's Donlan, gets inside the box, slips it inside. It is Murray. Murray can't get his shot away, but UCD don't let it go. Sorry, Sligo as himself.
Wow,
Sligo 2,
that is
Derry 1,
shocking.
and it's hard to argue with that if it finishes that way.
That was extremely surprising. The whole run of play was not neat, to say the least. Like the cross, as you said, on the right hand side by Banks, was lofted all the way across, and I'm surprised it actually stayed in. And then to intercept the ball through a manual slide tackle in the box, to then turn on the heel, first time finish with
Yeah, how
himself.
difficult is that to do, a manual slide tackle like that? We haven't seen too much of that so far throughout the tournament.
No, you're right. You're dead right. It's not easy to completely use your brain to intercept. You have to press a button to intercept. And like say, if you slide tackle and then he doesn't pass directly there, you're leaving a player on the ground, and he'd be probably better off on the counter attack for going forward. But to intercept it that well, and then the finish itself is extremely difficult to pull off. Now, I think he may have got a bit lucky with the finish as it was first time on the spin. But my God, straight in the top corner.
That's top corner. There's no stopping that. Nothing the keeper could do.
And
it looks like Ronan Coughlan has won the game for Sligo Rovers. My memory of Ronan Coughlan as a Cork City fan is him, I think, scoring a hat-trick against us last season. Talk about being ungrateful. Jokes aside, of course, Ronan is a good professional. He did his job for Sligo. He did it then. He's done it tonight. It's a big win to start the group with Sligo Rovers 2, Derry 1. What are your impressions of the game, Eric Finn?
It was a very interesting game to watch. Both of these players are very good, to be honest, and I'm very surprised that it finished with a win for Ronan at the end there, as Darren Cole with Derry had came forward for the last half hour of the game, and we didn't see very much from Sligo Rovers and Ronan Coughlan. But so Ronan prevails. There's nothing else to really be said, and fair play to him.
Very good win by Ronan Coughlan, and you could see it there at the end what it meant to him, and I'm sure he's celebrating like that in the real world just like he was in the virtual world. The opening game of Group 2 has been won by Sligo Rovers. They've beaten Derry by 2-1. Remember, keep your donations coming in for Cystic Fibrosis Ireland through idonate/Extratime.ie esports cup. I know those reminders are popping up throughout the game, but look, no harm to say it anyway. We appreciate your support. They appreciate your support. Sligo Rovers, well, their support will build as they go on to the second game of Group 2. With 3 points under the belt already. For Darren Cole, well, he leaves this game with nothing, but his performance indicated that he could still have a say in Group 2, which also contains Shamrock Rovers, Bows and St. Pat's. That's it for now. We'll catch you next time.